aside from the downsides from the commercial side and the environmental side, I'd like to just spend a bit of time thinking about the merits of car power ships. So I do believe that there are some positive aspects to car power ships. One of them being the fact that the technology that's being used is gas to power technology, which inherently is a very flexible technology and allows for quick ramping up and ramping down of power generation. The other thing is also, depending on the technology that is used, they generally make use of synchronous generation. And again, what this means is that synchronous generation is the type of generation that assists with maintaining the grid frequency. If you do not have enough synchronous generation technology or generation on the power system, you introduce some grid instability to the power system. And so the car power ships provided have these two advantages. They are flexible technology, being gas to power, and they also are a synchronous generation, which provides for grid stability. And why is this good? Well, in South Africa, we have a lot of potential for wind and solar. And we have the potential in South Africa for wind and solar basically to become the workhorses of our country. At the moment, the workhorse of our power system is coal, and it's basically baseload power. But there is an opportunity, given the large amount of wind and solar power, large amount of wind and solar resource that we have in the country, and given the price decrease or the decrease in prices of the technology over the years, wind power and solar power have become incredibly cheap, and South Africa is very well placed for these technologies or these resources to become the workhorses of the country, replacing fossil fuels, replacing coal. However, if South Africa's power system is going to become mainly based on wind and solar, then we need to understand that these are variable sources of generation, and as a result of that, we need to have flexible generation to back up the variability of these technologies. And so, gas to power is a brilliant technology for backing up renewables that are variable. And also, renewables introduces grid instability. Renewables, wind and solar, do not produce synchronous power, and as a result, there's a possibility for a lot of grid instability being introduced into our power system. And again, gas to power with synchronous generation is really good for us because it puts that stability back into our power system. And so, car power ships would have been a really good. I think it would have been a really good technology to introduce into South Africa's power system for these two things. It would complement renewables in the sense that it would provide the backup that we need to renewables, and would also provide the grid stability that we need. But unfortunately, the commercial issues and the environmental issues have muddied the waters. No pun intended there. We don't need to outsource this kind of. We don't need to get this technology from overseas. We don't need to import this technology. We are capable of doing gas to power inland. If we do gas to power inland, we avoid these environmental issues that would have been experienced with ships in the water. And additionally, if it's done locally, if it's done inland, so we reduce the environmental issues, and we can also have better contractual terms. We can look at contractual terms that best fit our needs in the country and best fit what it is that we would like to do with our power system. But I'd also like to mention that it's been a few years since this procurement process took place. This independent power producers program, a procurement process took place where Car Power Ship was awarded this allocation. And over this time, hydrogen technology has become a little bit more cost competitive. And so now we're at a point where, back then we might have benefited a lot from doing gas to power. But now we're at a point where gas to power is competing with hydrogen, and it actually makes more sense in some cases to go with hydrogen for flexibility rather than to go with gas to power. I'm glad you enjoyed that video. Please feel free to look at other videos on my channel, and also make sure you go to my website shanlylachman.co.za to find other articles on business and energy.